The Seldin Company's story epitomizes the American dream.
My father was born in Russia, somewhere between Minsk and Pinsk.
Murderous pogroms led millions to emigrate to Western countries, primarily the United States.
16, that was in 1913, he came to the United States. His brother helped him get here.
America, then open to all, promised freedom from persecution. This was the democratic country whose streets, so it was said, were paved with gold, and every newsboy could become a millionaire, with a little luck.
World War I, he volunteered for the Balloon Corps at Fort Omaha, where they trained to be artillery observers for balloons.
After service in the World War I, N.I. Seldin opened one-man insurance agency, selling life insurance policies in Council Bluffs. Ben grew the business and earned his real estate license in 1940.
Flash, Washington. The White House announces Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
The wars in Europe and Asia now merge into a single gigantic world war, the largest war in history.
Today's date is August 14th, 2005 in Omaha, Nebraska. Beat Dotan and Noah Harnick.
Millard Seldin. I enlisted when I was 17 years old. World War II, 1944 to 1946. I wanted to go in the Navy Air Force and see the world.
Stanley C. Silverman. World War II. I was 21 years old. I volunteered. I was in the Navy. We maintained the radar and the sonar on the Navy ships. And the first time I got out, when my initial leave, got married.
What are some of your fondest memories from some of the places which you were stationed?
I don't think I didn't have any fondest memories.
Did you ever see any combat when you were stationed?
No, never did.
How did your family feel about you being in the military?
There was no problem because there was a war going on and everybody was very patriotic and considered it their duty to go to war.
Did you find that like the things that you learned in the service helped you again later?
You were more mature, yes. Yeah.
Did you ever see combat?
No, I did not.
Did you ever feel like people treated you different because you were Jewish?
Maybe in boot camp. But
Can you just describe a normal day of work in the service?
we did a lot of training. We did all types of physical activities.
Did you ever have to do things that went against your belief?
No, you did what you were told to do. That was part of the discipline that they brought you up on.
Is there something you specialized in?
I was trained as a radioman, Morse code, radar, which was extremely new and high security at the time, gunner.
Can you explain to us a little bit what a gunner is?
When you were trained to shoot an airplane down, you had to shoot clear in front of it because by the time the bullets got to the plane, if you'd aimed right at the plane, you would have missed it. And then they also trained us to identify airplanes in a tenth of a second or a hundredth of a second.
Experience that left like the biggest mark upon you that you still go back and reflect upon today while you're
Well, we flew airplanes over to Guam, Kwajalein. One experience, I flew the head in charge atomic bomb that was going to be bombed, and it was a very interesting flight over there. A couple of trips we brought back wounded and people who had been injured in the Pacific.
What were the people like with whom you worked?
The group that I was in were the higher intellectual. They had to pass certain tests to get into the Navy Air Force. They were all young people from all over the country, real terrific guys. Then the war ended. We survived, you know. I just did my duty, but since the war was over, I didn't want to sign up for 4 more years.
World War II created a severe nationwide housing shortage. Ben Seldin recognized the urgent need, so he began constructing affordable new homes. Son Millard and son-in-law Stanley Silverman joined the company in the 1940s, and the Seldins acted on a bold vision, gradually acquiring 1,000 acres West Center Road between 114th and 135th Street, one of Omaha's first master plan communities. The firm would go on to build more than 3,000 single-family homes, more than 3,500 apartment homes, ending management and service. Other son Ted Seldin joined in after serving in the U.S. Air Force.
Your job in the Air Force?
I was assistant staff judge. I learned a great respect for the military, for the importance of enforcing and requiring discipline.
In 1959, the Seldins began developing the Westwood communities, commercial development, 500,000 square foot Westwood Plaza and 225,000 square foot Montclair Center are home to about 100 businesses, including a movie theater, large department stores, restaurants, banks, and much more. In 1997, to develop Benson Park Plaza. The project brought mainstream retailers to a blighted area near 72nd and Ames Avenue. The search for high-performing properties has brought Seldin Company into the states of Oklahoma, Texas, and Indiana. The Seldin Hotels built and managed 5 full-service hotels with 800 total rooms, 1,000 independent living apartments for seniors in metropolitan and rural communities across Nebraska and Iowa. While Seldin Company has enjoyed decades of growth, our legacy is rooted in a simple quote by our founder: "A deal must be good for both parties, otherwise it isn't good for either party." Company's story epitomizes the American dream of an immigrant coming to America, working hard, overcoming the odds, and building lasting value.